Welcome to the Explainer. Everyone is talking about AI agents, but for most businesses, actually building one, it's a complex, expensive headache. But what if you could build and deploy a secure, enterprise-grade AI agent in just a few minutes instead of waiting months? Well, today we're digging into a platform called Area that says it can do exactly that. Okay, so before we jump into the solution, let's really get a handle on the problem. Why is building AI for big companies so hard? You see, for a real business, turning the idea of an AI agent into something that's actually secure and functional, well, it's a total logistical nightmare. It's so much more complicated than just plugging into the newest, shiniest AI model. Yeah, the difficulty really comes down to three major roadblocks. First, the setups are just incredibly complex. Second, you end up having to stitch together a dozen different tools just to get one agent off the ground. And third, and this is the big one, you have to navigate these massive security concerns that give most IT departments a serious migraine. But what if there was an all-in-one platform that was built specifically to solve all three of those problems at once? That's exactly what we're going to look at today. And this is where the Area platform enters the picture. It's a full-on enterprise-grade system designed from the ground up to make building, managing, and deploying AI agents not just secure, but actually surprisingly simple. And the whole platform is really built around one single powerful promise, letting you take an idea for an AI agent and get it up and running in a matter of minutes, not months. So how in the world do they actually pull that off? Well, it's not magic. It really just boils down to a clear three-step process that's all about speed and being easy to use. It really is this simple. First, you start with a pre-built template from their huge library. Then, you tweak it and customize it using a simple drag-and-drop builder, so no heavy coding is needed. And finally, with just one click, you deploy it straight to a chat interface so you can test it out right away. And that first step, starting from a template, is a giant head start. We're talking about over 1,000 pre-built agents for specific industries, like finance and healthcare. So you are never, ever starting from a blank screen. Now, this part is crucial. The platform is model agnostic. And that is a huge deal because it means you're not locked into one company's AI. You have the freedom to pick from over 108 different AI models, including all the big names, to find the perfect one for your specific job. Okay, so what's really interesting here is what separates this platform from all the simpler tools out there. It's built from the ground up for the tough demands of a real business. And this really shows you the core difference between just a hobbyist tool and a true enterprise platform. With a lot of tools, security is kind of an afterthought, something you have to bolt on later. Area builds it right in from the start. We're talking enterprise-grade security, automated compliance, and full team management controls, right out of the box. And these aren't just buzzwords either. This means real, concrete features like automatic audit logging so you can trace everything, custom data retention policies so you can meet your compliance needs, sandboxing for secure agent interactions, and end-to-end encryption. It's all designed to give your security team total peace of mind. So this all sounds great in theory, right? But what can you actually build with this kind of power and security? Let's look at a few powerful real-world examples. Okay, so if you're in finance, you could build a credit scoring agent. This thing could analyze an applicant's entire financial history to help lenders make way more accurate, data-driven decisions on loans and do it in a fraction of the time. Or for healthcare, imagine a clinical summary agent. It could take all of a patient's self-reported symptoms and generate a quick, concise summary for the doctor before they even walk into the exam room. Think of the critical time that saves. And in the legal or compliance world, you could deploy a fraud detection agent. This agent could scan through emails, documents, and all sorts of other text to spot patterns of deception and flag potential risks as they happen, in real time. Of course, these examples, they just barely scratch the surface of what's possible. And that brings us to the final and I think the most important question of all. See, when you remove all that complexity and you have these enterprise-grade tools right at your fingertips, the focus completely shifts. It's no longer about how you can build an agent, but what you will build with it. So what problem would you solve first?